What's the difference if I just sleep in 1 more hour a day? What's the big deal if I waste an hour on social media? What does it matter if I just watch an hour of TV a day? If you spend 1 hour more sleeping in instead of waking up and attacking the day, just 1 hour, you have lost 22 days to deciding to play small. What could you do with 22 extra days?
When something happens, a meeting gets canceled, right? There's a curveball, it's a snow day, right? They take that as vacation time instead of adjusting to it. See, the truth of the matter is, being efficient, executing, shooting for those big goals is predicated on your actions. The simple answer here is very simply that you need to work harder and faster. There's really nothing else.
At the end of the day, you can't replace hard work. Don't compare yourself to other people's giftings. At the end of the day, hard work works. Hard work can always outwork talented people who don't want to work that hard.
I don't come from, a whole track record of success, right? I don't have the perfect upbringing. How in the world am I going to win? And I got to fix the way I look at time.
You don't need the perfect teacher for you to succeed. You don't need the perfect classmates for you to overcome. You don't need to be in the perfect setting. Nah, even when it's not perfect, you're gonna make it. Why? Because you're fueled on the inside.
The truth is, you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you. And when you find out what your why is, you don't hit snooze no more. You find a way to make it happen.
You may actually be behind your destiny right now. Like maybe you're not on pace. In fact, I think most people watching this will say, I am behind on achieving my destiny. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I feel like it's slipping. I feel like I'm behind. So you better figure out time differently. And you can bend and manipulate time to your advantage.
Rule number 1, there are no more 0 days. What is a 0 day? A 0 day is when you don't do a single solitary thing towards whatever your dream or goal is in this life.
Just because I've had a bad week where I was overscheduled or distracted or I was sick or whatever and I wasn't writing, that doesn't mean all is lost. Like, I just have to sit down tomorrow, or better, I have to sit down now and I just have to do a little bit, right? And that's what starts that process again.
If you put in the hard work, if you take control and you respect your dream and you respect your craft and you're willing to sacrifice and to get serious about that thing, I promise you over time, you're going to see the thing come alive.
There is no perfect moment. Now is the only perfect moment you need. Stop waiting for later. Now is the time to say, I'm going to be successful. Don't wait for later. Say, now is the time that I'm getting in them books. Now is the time to say, I'm going to make the next step. And the reason why you got to make that decision is because distractions are going to come your way.
If you're not in control of your aversions and your desires, right? These are the two forces of human life. What you want, you don't want. If you're not in command of what you do, what you think, it really doesn't matter, what your legal status is, right? You're not as free as you think you are.
So get to know those two different types of feelings and ask yourself which one you want to feel in 10 minutes or in a half an hour. When the thing is done, when the discipline has been implemented, remember what that feels like, and then remember that those minutes and those hours, they turn into weeks and months and years, and holding the line in those critical minutes will put you in an infinitely better place, physically and mentally, if you maintain the discipline.
You could be a little better today than you were yesterday. And that's a good thing. you're a little better. That's a good thing. And you know, no doubt there are some things that you could improve. You know, if you sit and meditate for any length of time about what you're not doing optimally, answers will spring to mind. You know, you could be getting up earlier. You could be watching YouTube less. And like, I've seen this be effective in many, many cases in my clinical practice, for example. It's like you take stock of where you are, you know, what your advantages are and what your disadvantages are. And then you start with a little humility on the path of incremental improvement. And, you know, incremental improvement compounds. And so you can get a long ways. And then it's, you see, because trajectory in some sense is more important than position. Got the bare necessities of life, and so you're not surrounded by absolute privation. What you really want is to see that you're on an uphill path, you know, something that's got the right slope. And you can start anywhere on that path. And you can improve 0.5% a day or 0.25% a day, and you think, well, that's not very much. It's like, it's 100%. If it's 0.25% a day, it's 100% in 4 years. And that doesn't count compounding, you know, which means it's actually going to happen a lot faster.
And that's duplicatable. Anybody can do that. Anybody can do that. It's not just applicable to the most talented person or the least.
No, I think that the possibility that you can make yourself slightly better on a continual basis is, I think that's something that's accessible to everyone. I think that's equivalent to leading a virtuous life.
The one benefit of people dying is the one way that they can go on living after they die. One way they can improve us and help us after they're gone is the reminder of the fact that they're not here, which will be true for you at some point. That's one of the things that the loss of people that we love can do for us. And so what did you do with the time that you've got? And the fact that you get tomorrow and I don't is a gift that you should not take for granted. It's like, hey, none of us get forever. The song ends at some point.